Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all the panel and to my viewers. Thank you. My name is Hasiff bin Jazlan and I would like to present about my final thesis. And the topic of my final thesis is virtual reality gamification technique for lab training simulation. So introduction. The idea of using game is not new, whether in education, medical trainings, and others. This is customary, especially in the case of direct interaction between teacher and students. They grow up with digital technologies and have different learning styles, new attitude to the learning process, and higher requirement for teaching and learning. For the problem statement, it is unknown which type of gamification technique is suitable or better to be used for lab training simulation. And next is lack of attention to and poor understanding of leading to less effective in learning process. And lastly, to focus on compare the existing gamification technique used for VR lab training simulation based on the standard VR simulation template. So for the research questions, there are three research questions. The first one is, what are the gamification technique is suitable for lab training? What are the gamification technique is suitable for lab safety training? And the second one is, how effective are the gamification techniques for teaching and learning? And lastly, do the different kind of gamification technique able to improve the user acceptance towards VR lab training simulation? And there are three research objectives. The first one is to compare the existing gamification techniques used for VR lab training simulation with other new added gamification techniques. The second one is to determine the effectiveness of gamification using VR lab training simulation. And lastly, the third one, to evaluate the user acceptance of VR gamification technique for VR lab simulation. Methodology. The method will use a template VR gamification technique lab training simulation. There are three gamification techniques that will be provided. The first one is challenge-based technique, the second one is guided-based technique, and the last one is hybrid-based technique. So this is the flowchart of analyzing data on lab training simulation. And voluntary teachers were chosen to simulate this simulation. After completion of their task, they will be handed a questionnaire. After completion of their training simulation, they will be handed a questionnaire to evaluate their understanding based on the task in lab training. After they completed all three sets of gamification techniques, all the data is collected. The survey is being conducted after all the users finish the three gamification technique simulation to get their feedback. This section consists of same 5 questions for each gamification technique. The online questionnaire and survey have gained 21 responses. There are 10 female participants and 11 male participants. So this is the summary of background and demographic of participants. So for the part 2, analysis of results and data for questionnaires. This section consists of 5 questions for each gamification technique. The user need to answer these questionnaires after the completion of simulating the lab training simulation. So for the guided based technique, this is the result analysis. And on your right side is the graph of insights of guided based technique for chemical spillage test. So based on the graph, 60 respondents managed to get full marks, which is 5 over 5, and 5 respondents score 4 over 5. The average score is 4.76 for this question. So for the hybrid based technique, on your right, this is a graph of insights of hybrid based technique. The scenario is power socket sparking test. Based on the graph, majority respondents managed to get full marks, which is 90 respondents. Only 2 respondents score 4 over 5 marks. The average score is 4.9 for this question. And lastly, for the challenge-based technique, based on the graph, 14 respondents managed to get full marks, and 7 respondents score 4 over 5. The average score is 4.67 for this question. So this is summary data or result of gamification technique. So hybrid-based technique has the highest respondents that score full marks with 90.48%, followed by guided-based technique with 76.19%, and lastly challenge-based technique with 66.67%. Figure shows respondents prefer gamification technique. Majority of respondents select guided-based technique as preferred gamification technique. 19 respondents select it, while hybrid-based technique and challenge-based technique both have been selected by one. The graph shows the respondents' overall satisfaction rating. 13 respondents strongly agree with dissatisfaction simulation, while 7 respondents agree with this satisfaction simulation, and 1 respondents neutral with this overall satisfaction. So this graph shows the respondents' likeliness to recommend using simulation in education to teachers or students. 20 of respondents strongly agree, while 1 respondent agree. I would like to end my video presentation with a video demo of my project.